Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Walsh Wednesday, the Reflective Series. And this is another installment of That First Step with co-host Harrison Mark.
Howdy, howdy.
Yes, and Harrison is here. We are all together. They're here in my family room rather than having to do on Zoom. So, Harrison, before we get into the nitty-gritty of the episode, I just want to point out that today marks, this interview right here, marks you taking the spot for most guest appearances on Walsh Wednesday. You have now surpassed Nick Rivera for most times on Walsh Wednesday. How do you feel?
Oh, I finally surpassed Nick. Oh, I'm so honored to hear that.
Oh, yeah, no, honestly.
It's been my dream.
Well, I remember you said a while ago your dream was to pawn your way onto this podcast. And
That's
then,
right.
Yeah, so then that's what this is and all that. So,
Wait, what is that?
I'm getting a call.
You're getting a call. Your ringtone is your own song?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Nick?
Hey.
Is that you?
Hello.
Nick Rivera from Rivera Teaches? What are you doing?
Is Harrison there?
Yeah, Harrison's here.
Tell him not here.
No, sorry, I kind of blew that already.
Oh, dang.
Are you guys recording right now?
Yeah, no, we were recording for That First Step.
Oh, okay. So, does this technically mean that I'm calling into an episode? Does that mean I'm still ahead of Mr. Harrison Mark for guest appearances?
Technically, like, he's the official guest. I don't even know if I'm going to keep that in, man. You're kind of interrupting the episode.
Better try next time, Nick. My biggest rival.
Oh, those are some shots right there.
Oh, I'll get you next time. You better watch the video on Rivera Teaches where I talk so much good stuff about you.
Yes,
I can't wait to hear you say such nice things about me.
And I can't wait to check it out as well on the Rivera Teaches channel.
I might have to even sub right now.
I'm already subscribed.
Oh, you guys are fighting over me already. I love it. Oh, well, I'll let you guys get to recording. It's nice talking to you guys.
He just do that.
The man is a legend.
Huh. Okay. Well, I guess we should get back into this episode, shouldn't we? Weather's real nice. We were just outside eating a nice bowl of salsa fresca.
Oh, yeah. Eating nice bowls with chicken and stuff. I didn't actually have chicken in mine.
You had beef. I had chicken.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there you go.
All right. So, see, you weren't lying totally.
Nope.
I feel like that's something that I got to say every time is like, or it's just always implied. Like every time you come over, salsa fresca is always on the table. It has to be. Otherwise, you're not coming over.
Honestly, like neither of us could want salsa fresca. And like maybe I'm allergic to it now or something, but we still have to get it because it's tradition.
It is tradition. So like, yeah, even if you get like so sick from it to the point you got to go to the hospital, it's like, nope, can't break this at this point.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's like built-in groundwork. It's a ritual.
Definitely. Now, for those of you who don't know, salsa fresca is kind of like Moe's or Chipotle. It's really good. And they got one like just down the street from me and it's phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
So
definitely check it out.
If you ever get the chance, yes, definitely check it out.
Connor's not sponsored by them yet, but maybe he should be.
I think we should be.
Yeah.
I think we should be. You know, I'm going to write into them and tell them, it's like, we go and eat at your establishment every time that we get together for Walsh Wednesday, That First Step installment. It might as well be a sponsorship.
Right. Yeah. They sponsor you. You get free tacos or whatever. It's a win-win.
That's a win-win. It's like they don't even got to pay me real money. If they just give me their burrito bowls, oh, God.
Yep.
That'd be a very nice time. But I have to watch what I eat because I'm doing a physical wellness challenge at the same time.
Such a shame.
Well, it's all about moderation, and we can definitely get into that. And
see, if you were learning a language, you could eat as much as you wanted.
So is that also a reason why you enjoy eating salsa fresca so much? Because you're learning Spanish?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Every single bite, I'm learning a new thing about the language, even though I doubt it has much in common with actual Hispanic cuisine.
Oh, it's probably just so rudimentary. Probably so basic.
Yeah.
No, it tastes good.
Yeah, that's all that matters to me.
So here we are. We're in April, beginning of April now, and we got 2 months left to this challenge. And I don't know about you. I'm definitely at a different spot than I thought I was going to be. Mm-hmm. Some for better, some for worse.
Definitely.
But I think that's definitely given a lot of perspective on just, here we are out of college, kind of figuring out life in a pandemic, but just kind of figuring out life in general and making everything work. So, Harrison, how about you start off telling us where are you at on your language learning journey? And one thing that's a new variable, you have a new job.
I do have a new job.
Kind of not that it throws a wrench into things, but it's another thing that you have to worry about on top of what you were thinking of before.
Definitely, yeah. Like stuff like that. You just got to like reorganize how you do things and sort of prioritize your time more. With that, it's sort of showing me how to be a better time manager, because we were talking about this earlier. I'm horrible with time management. I'll get down a YouTube rabbit hole that'll last like an hour or two when I should be doing something. But yeah, sometimes when I'm working, I'll look at boxes which have Spanish phrases on it sometimes, and I'll try and incorporate that into my learning.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it's not much, but you gotta do what you gotta do. My Duolingo streak is at 114 days.
Okay, so hasn't broken. That's
hasn't
good.
broken. I've been being pretty consistent with that. I'd say right now, I thought I'd be further along with actually speaking the language, which is still definitely my biggest weakness, is that I haven't really practiced speaking it yet. I've been like looking through the flashcards. I'm getting that vocab down, but speaking it and grammar always throws me off. So that, I think, in our last like month or so, I'm definitely going to work on trying to, especially as like the pandemic lightens up and I go more places, finding someone to speak with, I think would help tremendously. And also just practicing grammar more, getting a grammar book, even though that's the part I've been dreading the most.
No, that's understandable. I think that's the thing with any language. Even like as we're little kids in school, the vocabulary was always the easy part.
Oh yeah.
Vocab was easy, spelling was easy, but the moment that you tried to figure out grammar and then especially trying to learn other languages, and I give you a lot of props for learning another language. I keep saying I would love to learn another language. Have I tried to do so? No. Music is another language. I'm bilingual that way. No, I need to really work on that. But no, I give you a lot of credit for even going out and learning in the first place and having some kind of understanding rather than nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I've always come from the idea that I'd rather know a little bit in like a bunch of different languages than become like fluent in just one other language, because like, if you want to travel around, the least you could do is like know a little bit of language of the place you're going. So it exposes you to different cultures. So I think, I would definitely recommend, even if you don't have a lot of time, just like studying a little bit of whatever language you want.
And you talked about this already with prioritizing your time with the new job. How do you feel like you've been doing that? Because you were telling me your job and its hours kind of all over the place and it's not consistent. So what are you doing to deal with that inconsistency?
I mean, it's kind of rough and I'm still kind of adjusting to it. Like sometimes I have to go in at 6 a.m. Sometimes I'm there till closing at 11 p.m. So you kind of have, with a inconsistent schedule like that, you kind of have to look at it from like a day-by-day basis. And, with the Spanish example, you got to be like, okay, so I have like 45 minutes here. I could do Spanish before work or maybe on lunch break or something. But, if you're good with time management, you're always going to find time. Like, if you can't find time to do something, then you're just kind of fooling yourself there. I mean, some people work 2 jobs. That's true. It's a lot more stressful on some people. But if you really want to do it, you can find time, even if it's like 10 minutes in a day. That much can help you learn a language.
Oh, yeah. I've said this with a lot of things. You just want to chisel away a little bit at a time. You don't need to do it all right away.
Exactly, yeah.
But that's still something that, I might talk a good game, but how much of what I will do, practice what you preach kind of thing.
Right.
How much I'll really take care of at times. And time management, I think, will always be something that I'm struggling with.
Oh, for sure. Same here. Like, it's not easy at all. There are some days when I, like, get to 11 p.m. and I'm like, oh my God, I have an hour to do my Duolingo before my streak dies. And that app, keeping the streak, is good enough of an incentive to make me do it every day. So I guess just another piece of advice would be find something you can hold yourself accountable to. Yeah, and that also goes a long way.
No, it's good having like a little extra something that's keeping you accountable that can track your progress. It's nice when it's visible. You can see, it's like, oh, oh yeah, I can tally this off. I can tally this day. I've done this much, and you can see how much it's building up.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I'm wearing a Fitbit right now, and as I was telling you before, Connor, it's nice because at my job it requires a lot of standing. So like I track my steps, and like it's nice to see. Oh yeah, I've gotten like 15,000 steps today, because it makes you. It tracks what you do, makes you feel good. So yeah, something like that.
Dude, I just got to say, since graduating college, where we're on our feet all the time, going around to our classes, walking around campus, I was never in the same place for more than 5 minutes with all my activities. So I was all over the place. Not walking everywhere definitely has made a difference on me, for sure. Well, hence why I wanted to get into this whole wellness thing. But I'm much, much more sedentary than I used to be. And not to say that I'm not all over the place at times. Like, I'm still helping out with my grandmother on my dad's side, my grandparents on my mom's side. I'm running errands, this and that. But I'm in a car. Mm-hmm. I'm driving around. It's not like I'm walking everywhere where it used to be.
Right.
And I love that. It was as much as, sometimes your feet get tired and all that. You just like being outside and just kind of like the fresh air and getting out.
Oh,
but
yeah.
When you're stuck in a car, you're stuck in a house, you're stuck in a store, but you're not like actually getting out and really taking in the days. Especially recently, it's like really nice weather.
It's so nice.
Which I was really glad we got out there and had our salsa fresca outside today.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a
good picnic weather.
Oh, good picnic weather. Very, very nice. But yeah, that's something. There's a lot of things that I'm realizing, getting out of college, kind of entering the quote unquote real world. Realizing, there are certain things that I was definitely taking for granted, and walking around was just one of them.
Yeah. No, that's definitely true.
Yeah.
It's crazy thinking back, like, all the little things like that you used to do that you can't anymore. And it's like, ugh.
Because, like, for the most part, you had a community all in walking distance of yourself. The people that you wanted to see, all in walking distance. The places that you needed to go, majority all walking distance.
Right.
Or if you had to, like, you're taking a bus or an Uber or something, and then you walk the rest of the way. That you didn't have to. It was a lot of walking. It was all interconnected. And now, like, being back home in the suburbs, you can't walk anywhere. You still got to drive anywhere,
right,
to get any place that you want.
Sounds like you're well suited to city life, my friend.
To a degree. I'm not sure how I would do in like New York City, like our friend Shannon or anything.
Shout out to Shannon.
She listens every week, so she's going to be going crazy on the subway hearing this. Love you, Shannon. Yeah, no. I liked my time in Albany. I liked that kind of city. Obviously, I've never lived in New York City. I've only visited, so I'd be curious to see how well I'd deal with that. But, like a place like Boston would be nice.
Yes, I've always been saying Boston.
Yeah.
Boston would be perfect.
Boston is such a great city because it's got more going on than Albany.
Yeah.
But it's not nearly as crazy as New York City.
Oh, yeah. It's got like, it feels like a city, but it also, like, especially if you're walking through the park, it feels like a town also.
Oh yeah. And to be honest, like, I'm a Boston Bruins fan, hockey wise, so at least like I got one thing to connect me. No, and I got family over there too. But yeah, no, that would be a place to check out. And I hear like the music scene's not that bad over there. Well, at least before COVID, so always have those things in mind.
Exactly.
Always got to think about that. Yeah. So I miss the walking around that college gave me. But it's cool that you're getting up and around with that as well, and keeping track of your steps. I will admit, this past month, I've kind of plateaued with my wellness. I haven't really lost any weight. Don't think really anything's gotten better. Nothing's really gotten worse, but nothing's really gotten better. But also, I will admit, I've probably only been exercising maybe like 3 or 4 times a week rather than every day like I used to.
Yeah.
Just because things have been a bit nuts. I was doing picked up a temp position at my dad's office there briefly. I've been stepping up, helping out my grandparents on my mom's side much more often. And trying to get a number of other things done where it's just not having that time to work out, or at least feel like I have it. As you said, if it means a lot, you'll make it happen. But there are just times where like I'm just exhausted, maybe not physically exhausted, but just like emotionally and mentally exhausted, where I just don't want to do anything. But that's all a part of the mindfulness part of it, to stay healthy and stay up on that. And some days I'm winning, some days I'm losing. That's for sure. There hasn't been consistency this month.
Yeah, I will say that self-discipline is a really elusive thing, and it's not something that either of us are going to completely get in the course of this 6-month thing that we're doing.
If by like the day right before this all ends, it's like we are completely self-disciplined, that would be magic. That's a miracle right there.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, it's like one of the hardest things to do, I think, to get yourself in the mind frame of I'm doing this no matter how I feel, no matter how much free time I have today.
Yeah.
It's like I don't even understand how to get there. I hope to get there someday because I want to stop procrastinating so much. But it's like one of the hardest things to control your brain in such a way.
But this has definitely been great for a self-evaluation, because I know we've talked about this before, where we're learning things about our patterns and our habits that we didn't realize about ourselves. Yeah. And it's definitely, we had kind of like a general overview, but you know, there's some nitty-gritty things that we just didn't realize and we could hone in on better than we did before.
Definitely.
Whether it gets solved or gets better during the 6 months, at least it has made us aware of certain things that we do need to keep working on.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And once you kind of know where you're at in that regard, it's a step forward, a first step forward.
Yes.
Yeah, where you can sort of take it from there.
Yeah.
Like after this, I do plan on continuing learning Spanish every day, because, you know, I actually want to be able to speak the language and retain what I've learned. But also I want to be able to look back and be like, okay, so this is where I could have done better. I could have spent this much more time learning this, and then sort of apply that to future endeavors.
Yeah, definitely. And then kind of moving forward, what's really been motivating me is the nice weather.
Yeah. And
that's kind of getting me a little more back on track. But as we said, motivation is fleeting. It's the discipline.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's the thing.
Motivation is nice at first, but
it doesn't always last. It doesn't always last. And to be constantly motivated is definitely a difficult task. And with the nice weather, I think I'll do well for myself. But it proved to me even more how much I hate the cold and how much I hate winter. Like, boy, I thought I hated it before, but my gosh. But that also, you know, that makes me realize and puts myself in check. It's like, okay, you really don't like the cold, but what can you do to not make yourself cold?
Yeah.
And part of it is exercise, dummy.
It's true.
It's like just do the exercise. Just keep up with it. But instead of just letting myself shut down in that regard. And then as you were talking about consistency with your job or the lack thereof, the lack of consistency with my daily schedule, I can't sit down to one thing. Like I'm off with the Macrillos and Fishkill for this one appointment. I'm there with my grandmother here in Poughkeepsie for another appointment, and then I'm trying to work on stuff for an audiobook, but then I'm going and working on stuff for this album, but then I'm writing this script, and it's you know, nothing has been straightforward, and it's just kind of hard to plan and keep up with certain things as that goes on when you're that scattered. Yes, people tell me it's like, just take stuff off your plate, Connor. Oh, I wish. I would love to. The stuff that I would take off my plate, stuff that I could, are the stuff that I want to do.
Right.
And I don't want to sacrifice that stuff.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And because, regardless, okay, it's great to be altruistic. It's great to take care of others. There's a certain kind of happiness and meaning that you get from serving, of course. But in the end, you still need to look out for you and your desires, your dreams, and what you want. I'm not saying to be a selfish prick. I'm just saying make sure that you are not jeopardizing yourself in the sake of taking care of anything else and anybody else in that regard. And one thing I've dealt with for a long time, I have the Superman complex. Have you heard of this? Harrison complex?
I think I know where you're going with that.
Where it's like you're always trying to help out and be there and do the right thing, but at the sake of completely forgetting who you are at times.
Yeah. And it's like, how much can you really be of a help to someone else if you can't even help yourself first? And like, while it's nice to be there for other people, you have to treat yourself sometimes like you were another person. And that, we can loop this back to talk about self-discipline. A lot of people are hard on themselves and they're like, you're so stupid. You can't even follow this. You can't even put aside 10 minutes a day to learn this. But like, I forget where I heard this, but would you speak that way to somebody else? Like if Connor told me like, hey man, I didn't get to exercise today, would I be like, Connor, you idiot, you're so stupid, like you're worthless? No, of course I wouldn't say that. So why would you say that to yourself? Because you're speaking to yourself and your brain takes what you're saying and it puts its own spin on it. So if you're always hard on yourself, like, that's not good for anybody. You just gotta be like, yeah, it's okay, I didn't do what I wanted, but I'm gonna do better. Like I'm trying my best. Like just thinking differently in that way is so much more productive. So yeah, going back to what you were saying earlier, like you can't, if you're constantly yelling at yourself or if you're putting yourself down for maybe being too busy and not getting done as much as you want to do, like how are you supposed to help other people if you're being this hard on yourself?
That's a great point. I've definitely thought about those things, but the way that you worded it and the way that you put it forward was great. Like, would you say that to somebody else?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, like, damn. My eyes just kind of widened when you said that. I was like, oh, wow.
Definitely not my original idea. I forget where I heard that.
But still, no, it's a good mantra to pass on nonetheless.
Exactly.
And I know I needed that, so thank you.
Yeah, of course.
No, appreciate
That's why I'm here.
Heck yeah. But I think that's really necessary to think about. Yeah, just keep that positivity going. One thing that we were talking about while we were having salsa fresca outside, we were talking about going down the YouTube rabbit hole and just like watching a lot of YouTube videos. And I think we kind of go down the rabbit hole for two different reasons, but it's still, I think those reasons are something that we both need to address in order to make ourselves more self-disciplined.
Right.
In your case, if I get this right, you were talking more of it just like in a procrastination kind of standpoint.
Yeah, pretty much. Like for me, let's say I'm working on a project, I finish like a paragraph of that project, or I get to a certain checkpoint that's not really that big, but I'm like, all right, I've earned like half an hour of YouTube now. And then like I get out of that mind frame of working. So yeah, for me, it's very much a procrastination thing.
Yeah, it's kind of gone a little bit further than just the, okay, this is my reward.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of, gotten sucked in a little bit more, a little easier to reward,
exactly.
quote unquote, reward yourself. Yeah, and then with mine, when I normally get through the YouTube rabbit hole, normally it's not as much procrastination, but to calm all the various neurons that are going off in my head at all times. Like, I was going to sound like I have multiple personalities. I don't. I have one voice that's concerned about this one thing I got to do. Another voice that's talking about this thing. And another part of my brain that's thinking about this. Like, I'm thinking about like 10 things all at once. Mm-hmm. And just having like a mind-numbing YouTube video just helps to bring some kind of zen. It's not the ideal way to find zen. I know that, hence why I wanted to make meditation a big part of what I was doing and the breathing exercises and all that. But I'll admit it's not perfect, but sometimes it can like quiet my brain enough at times.
Hey man, however you can get your zen,
Yeah.
go for it.
As I said, it's not the healthiest or greatest way because don't want to be dependent on anything like that, even if it is just like a screen. I've been wanting to step away from screens more and more, but as time goes on, and if it quiets things, it's helping a little bit.
Yeah.
But I still want to find how to do it within myself rather than have to worry about going to YouTube to quiet my brain.
Right. No, that's definitely a good goal to have, I think.
Yeah. I think it's probably gotten worse in the past 2 months of me turning to YouTube more.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you just got to set aside a time to go off in the woods or something.
Yeah, honestly, now that it's like really nice out, I really got to get outside much more. Around this time last year, I would go on runs with our with Matt.
Yeah.
We would go to the Roosevelt Farm Trails in the morning. Maybe I should. I think he's back in Delaware right now, but otherwise I'm. Well, he was also dealing with some side effects from COVID too.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't even know if he would have been up for it if he was still around. But maybe I should just go over myself, get up in the morning, just go for that run, and just do it.
Yeah. Sometimes I prefer running by myself because then I don't have to worry about keeping up with anyone. Especially when I'm just starting out after not doing it for a while.
Matt and I did a pretty decent job of keeping up with each other. Then when we added in our friend Zach, he definitely can run. He has much more endurance than us. So like Zach got to the point where he would get there early, run around before we got there, and then he took
you guys
it
as
easy.
like a cool down.
Yeah, pretty much. Which is like teach their own. Good for you. Yeah, good. No, good for him. I would love to be back to that point to be able to, run as much as I used to in the past.
Oh,
you were more of a runner than I ever was, but even still.
In high school, maybe.
Yeah. I think I surpassed you in college. I think that's when we kind of flipped a little bit.
Yeah, I rarely did any running in college.
Yeah, I really liked running because it was really good to keep up with for just aerobic exercises, good for singing, keeping the lungs healthy, keeping it strong.
It's super good for you.
Yeah.
I definitely want to get back into it. Maybe once I get more used to like my routine of work and all that,
we need to dedicate days, you and me.
Sure,
we'll go on a run
Mills
somewhere
or something. Mills Mansion.
Oh, there they go.
There. That's my go-to place. Yeah.
Yeah, Mills is nice. Yeah.
Some majestic deer there.
That's true. That's true. But with the weather getting nicer, and if we can find some consistency in our day-to-days, we can try to figure something like that out.
Definitely. But yeah, running is good for both physical and mental health. So perfect for your thing.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And maybe if I get a Spanish audiobook or something like that.
That would be really good to be able to listen to that while you're running.
Yeah. I've been meaning to get more into like Spanish literature. I think I've just recently gotten enough of a grasp on words where like I won't understand everything, but I'll get like the gist of it.
Okay. This is not to be said as an insult.
Okay.
But
like, it's a good way to start a sentence.
I know, right? But maybe like children's Spanish.
No, that's not an
audiobooks.
insult at all. I'm like at about child's level.
But no, like something like that probably could be good.
No, yeah, you're definitely right. I've seen a lot of people on like foreign language subreddits and stuff talk about like reading Harry Potter because it's like, enough people have read it in English, so you know the story already. Yeah. And then you kind of already know what's going on in each scene, so it's easier to pick apart. But yeah, books like that, like maybe early chapter books would be perfect. But yeah, I'm definitely going to start looking into that. I also want to take in more auditory things, like I said, like trying to speak to people, especially because I can see more people now. Yeah. So, yeah.
No, that would be good. Now, How do you think that's going to go when you start seeing people out in public? Are you just going to go up to a random stranger and it's like, ¿Cómo estás?
Absolutely not.
Soy Harrison.
Absolutely not. No, it's gonna. Oh my god, it's gonna be so intimidating. I was thinking more so like people I know who speak Spanish.
Yeah, of course.
But even that's gonna be so intimidating because having not spoken it before, it's gonna sound so weird. But it's just something you got to do because you're not gonna. No matter how much you sit down and you study something, if you don't do it, the knowledge is worthless.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to speak eventually. So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. There you go. No, I think that's definitely worth it. Definitely get into the speech and check out like the audiobooks stuff or something like that. I think that probably benefits you a lot.
Definitely, yeah. Just hearing the words, hearing how like phrases sound and stuff, it's the way to go.
Well, you also talked about watching some stuff on Netflix and things along those lines. Have you kept up with that at all?
A little bit here and there, not as consistently as I did at the beginning.
Well, probably with the job, you haven't had as much time.
Yeah. I've been I've had to like really pick and choose what I want to focus with Spanish.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really want to find a good show to watch that isn't like too long or anything.
Yeah.
I found some good stuff in the past. Like there's this, I think I mentioned it one time, this one show called like Monarca.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. And it's like pretty underrated too from what I've seen. So check that out if you speak Spanish or want to speak Spanish. Whoa. But yeah, looking for some good stuff to watch.
There you go.
I mean, I could tell you that like I've been watching like Star Wars in Spanish.
Have you?
Not recently, but I have. It's like a month ago, I think. I watched Phantom Menace in Spanish.
Oh, that's actually probably really good because Harrison and I are huge Star Wars fans. Actually, I have 2 lightsabers and a Darth Vader mask coming in the mail right now. Like legitimately.
Where'd you get them from?
I actually got 2 of the things from Disney and then the Darth Vader. Where did I get that? I got that off of Marketplace.
I would love to get like a Phase 2 Rex helmet.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll definitely, once I get enough money to start wasting it, I'll definitely be getting some stuff like that.
Oh, wait a second. You saying I'm wasting my money here, dude?
Well, I mean, it's
you calling me out here? No.
It's not like you're getting anything essential.
Actually, the reason I am getting that stuff is for sketches, by the way. Okay. It's not like I'm just getting them to own.
So, just write it off as a work expense.
Actually, I could. I could.
I see.
No, if anybody's seen any of my not so happy holiday sketches online, please keep sharing them. Please keep liking them. I have a few more coming out. Check that out.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. Everything's a shameless plug here. This is all. It's Walsh Wednesday. Listen to the name of it.
Wow.
It's all a big shameless plug.
Dang.
Yep. It's all meta.
So meta.
So meta. But no, that's actually a really good idea of, how ingrained Star Wars is to you. It's like, the story. So it's like you just listen to it and you can pick it up.
Some movies I could quote pretty much line for line. So if it's something like that, or also like The Incredibles, I can do that with.
Okay, yeah, that's a fair one.
Like just, if you're trying to learn a new language, the more familiar something already is in English or whatever your first language is, then like you'll be able to pick it up if you read or watch it in your new language. So yeah. No,
definitely. Now, with trying to find the time to do so, like when you're at Lowe's, like you said, you're working like 10-hour shifts or something.
Sometimes it really varies. Like some days it's 4 hours, some days it's like 9 or 10. So yeah.
Lord Almighty.
Yeah, I know. That's why like there's no consistency in my life anymore.
No, so that's tough. So the fact that you've been able to keep your streak up is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to like brag too much. Yes, very impressive.
Very impressive. But no, just the,
Yeah, I mean, I get like an hour lunch break, so I could always do it then.
That's good too.
But yeah, usually I just do it like before, like right in the morning, like when I wake up or before bed. The Duolingo streak, at least, like usually I try and find some more time later to like do a more fleshed out thing.
Oh, that's good.
Sometimes I can't find the time and just do Duolingo, but I like to at least go through like my flashcards.
Yeah.
Or look at grammar on Babbel or something. But yeah, definitely need to start more auditory input and output.
Yeah, definitely. And then, yeah, with me, hopefully get back into, doing it more, exercising more daily, exercising and meditating more daily. Like 3 to 4 times a week isn't awful, but, hasn't been what I wanted.
Bump those numbers up.
Yeah. Like if I was going to the gym and actually like using anything more insane, or if I had a better routine going maybe, but I don't know, between like the just push-ups, sit-ups, squats, stretches, poses, and that now running again, I am loving the running. It was like getting out, nice weather.
Yeah.
I actually like running more end of the day, but that can be more difficult because you could be doing something still end of the day.
I've always been like a morning runner person.
I'm not a morning person. That's my problem. I'm just not a morning person in general.
Yeah.
So I really don't want to.
Yeah.
But that's why I really liked back at college, like if I was done with my classes for the day, I would go to the gym.
Right.
Like that was kind of my routine.
Yeah.
Like once I was done with classes for the day, I would go to the gym.
I think I've always structured my life like ever since like school, like productive stuff in the morning and mid-afternoon, and then like save the evening for relaxing and socializing.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I come from. But
I get
running in the evening is nice as well. Like you got like the nice late afternoon air going on.
Brisk air sometimes.
Yeah, brisk air.
No, it's nice. That's what I've always enjoyed. Well, back in college, I'd have those days where I'd wake up at 5 o'clock to finish an assignment that I should have finished like 2 days before, and then like rushing off to class to get it, and then like I'm draining just totally dragging the whole rest of the day until I wake up again around like 4 o'clock. And then I have kind of like that adrenaline rush to go to the gym. And then by the time I go to the gym, I feel good, eat, and then I feel crappy again. And then like I'm trying to finish up homework. Like, what do I do to myself?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the greatest.
It's definitely better ways to go about things.
Oh, yeah. I never said that I am like the peak example of how to live one's life.
I always thought you had all the answers. That's why I listen to this podcast.
I don't have the answers. No, the reason I don't have the answers, but I can at least get the right people and the right conversations to happen.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
You talk to other people who have the answers.
Not even like that everybody else has all the answers. I think that's kind of like one of the things about philosophy and all that, and understanding everything, is that you shouldn't be presented with the answer. It's a lot of questioning and it's a lot of the questioning and figuring out for yourself what it could possibly be, in just back and forth. Like Socrates, Aristotle, all the major philosophers, they never told people like what it is to do. They always presented a question.
Yes.
And always left it up for the individual.
And if you've ever read Plato's Republic, you get very annoyed by that.
I've only read parts of it. How much have you read of it?
I had to read the whole thing for one of my political science theory classes.
Oh, did you?
I kind of skipped around some parts.
You got that pissed off at times, huh?
Yeah, I hope my professor, Dr. Rostow, is not listening to this.
Probably not. Why you would ever find this podcast, I don't know.
Who knows?
No, just watch when this podcast really erupts.
Yeah.
And he goes back to hear like earlier installments.
He's gonna revoke my degree.
That jerk, Harrison Mark.
He's gonna tear it up. 4 more years of school for me.
Nope, just take away your entire degree, yep. Everything that you worked up to.
This man is a fraud. He didn't read the Republic fully.
Well, on that note, so for you, it's going to be kind of just finding that consistency with your work schedule.
Yeah, pretty much.
And trying to continue with that, try to be a little more auditory in what you're working on.
Yep.
And then for me, hopefully get back into much more consistent workout and meditation throughout the week, more than just 3 or 4 times a week, which, as I said, it's not awful, but I would like a little more consistency, and just to get back into it. And also, I would like to get back into some summer shorts. That'd be appreciated. Yeah, the 20 pounds that I put on in during COVID has not been appreciated to all my pants. So let's hope we get those nice summer shorts back on again.
Let's
That's the
hope.
goal. That's the goal.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
That's
And-
what we're aiming for.
And now that the nice weather's here and it's like good weather to actually wear those shorts, is even more incentives. Like, all right, fit into them. So I guess that's kind of where we're at right now.
Also, if anybody listening knows of any good like Spanish YouTube channels, tell Connor, and then he might tell me if he's feeling gracious that day.
Definitely. I always feel gracious. I will 99.7% sure that I would tell you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the other part of me would probably just forget.
That's fine.
Yep.
That's fine.
It's all good. All right, so until next time, if you guys curious about everything, keep checking out the social medias. We'll be trying to post some stuff on that. We also have some other ideas in the future on how we want to continue that first step once the 6-month challenge is over. We'll probably be telling you guys a little more on the definite side of what we're doing, probably either next month or the very last installment.
Yes.
Something along those lines, because not everything's concrete, but we have a number of ideas that we want to flush out and present to you guys, and we think that it'll be good for not just ourselves, but I think it would be a very positive experience for anybody participating and watching and taking the journey with us.
Absolutely.
Much more for you guys to get into, enjoy, and kind of feel like you're a little more on the ride with us. So,
Yes, definitely.
yeah. Any more comments on that, Harrison?
You about said it all.
All right. In that case, I'm Connor,
I'm Harrison.
and we're glad we get to spend some time.